Week 3 and an early season NFC North clash between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions from Minneapolis at US Bank Stadium. And with that, we welcome you to the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Brady Quinn. A pair of 1-1 teams that have gotten there in different ways. Minnesota Week 1 looked so good in a win over Green Bay on Monday night. They really struggled on the road at Philadelphia. Detroit, their offense has been explosive. They lost Week 1. They bounced back last week with a win against Washington. But Brady, here's the bottom line. Both of these teams have fun, young, explosive playmakers out wide.
A lot of offensive firepower. Let's start off talking with the Minnesota Vikings, looking to replicate that performance you talked about Week 1, where Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson hooked up for a career day for Justin Jefferson. And for the Detroit Lions, remember this name, folks, an emerging star in the NFL, Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's been phenomenal this year, and he could make some history today, Brandon.
Yeah, he's had 8 or more receptions in 8 straight games. He'll try to make it 9 today. A lot of tradition in this matchup, a rivalry that dates all the way back to 1961. Detroit, Minnesota, next on Fox. Here are today's players to watch, brought to you by Geico. Detroit's DeAndre Swift has delivered his share of hard knocks, averaging 10 yards per carry. Dalvin Cook can heat up the Vikings offense in a hurry, a perfect complement to Justin Jefferson. An old-fashioned NFC North showdown. Lions, Vikings, next.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
67,000 packed in and ready to go in Minneapolis as Detroit takes on Minnesota. Dan Campbell, in his second season, really feels optimistic about where his ball club is at, coming off the win last week against Washington to get to 1-1. And on the other side, a 37-year-old head coach, first-year head coach, last couple of seasons, offensive coordinator under Sean McVay. And behind him, the Skol chant gets him ready here in Minneapolis. Minnesota won the toss. Detroit will receive it. Justin Jackson back at the goal line. Yard line as we head downstairs and welcome in Megan O'Leary.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Well, after a stellar Week 2 performance, including setting a Lions rookie record with 3 sacks, Aiden Hutchinson was limping on the sideline at the end of the game. He did not practice Wednesday or Thursday, was limited Friday, but I talked to him this morning. He said that thigh contusion just needed a little bit of rest. He feels 100% in terms of his own performance. He said, I expected to be last week. He's ready to be a difference maker, guys.
Detroit's first 2 weeks, and we talked about it in the open. Week 1, the offense was good, but the defense really struggled. They lost 38-35 to the Eagles. Last week, they got up 22-0 and cruised to a victory.
The second half started to see some of the issues that ended up playing apart. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson had about as good of a first half as you'd ever expect out of a rookie.
Of the 20. So the Vikings, we told you their story, but Week 1 they looked so amazing against Green Bay. They shut down Aaron Rodgers and company, win the football game, and then they really struggled this past Monday night, Brady, at Philadelphia.
Yeah, and look, Philly got off to a fast start, and talking with head coach Kevin O'Connell and even Kirk Cousins, they just said, look, I was pressing as a play caller, says O'Connell. Cousins said, hey, I'm pressing out there too. Looking at the situation of the game and feeling like I had to win the game on every throw. It's a tough spot to be at in prime time, and Kirk Cousins knows that all too well.
Going to bring this out and out to the 20-yard line and drop there. Well, you talk about this Detroit team. I know it's only Week 3, but this offense, it just feels different than years prior. It
does. It feels like Dan Campbell's really building something. And Kevin O'Connell said something today in our meetings that, this Lions team really embodies their head coach, his persona, and it's a compliment. And, we get a team that can play hard and do the things that he's asked them to do. I think they've got the personnel with the right people in the room and on this team that are doing the things they're asking them to do.
Let's go out to Los Angeles. Here's Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Brandon. Coming up, it's America's Game of the Week, a monster one. Brady Rodgers. They meet for just the 5th time. Aaron looking to get his 2nd win against Tom. And Brady and the Bucs looking to improve to 3-0 on the year. How about Tom wearing a T-shirt of himself? You can do that when you're the GOAT. It's all coming up next in America's Game of the Week.
Minnesota's flipped the script here from down 14-0, all even at 14 apiece. And now let's check in with Kurt Menefee to see what's coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report.
Hey, I got some exciting news. I got this new device that tells you when the Verizon halftime show is coming up.
And?
Yeah, well, it's coming up soon.
What's the device called?
What's it called? Are you serious? It's called a watch. And it also tells time. Ha!
It's all coming up on the Verizon halftime. See what I have to deal with?
We're going to have to deal with Terry Bradshaw. 1 seconds left. St. Brown walks it off. Well, on September 13th, the Minnesota Vikings helped build a home for a Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity family. During the week-long project, current Vikings players and staff members volunteered to help construct a dwelling that fit the family's needs. And the buyer of the Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity home will be identified this fall and will be invited to a home game to experience Vikings game day. They got to hurry. A race against the clock.
Oh, no, they're fumbling the football.
He's not going to be able to do it. Yeah. Yep. They were trying to get the ball down. You see, that's what Kirk Cousins is saying, is give us a chance.
Well, I think Garrett Bradbury is just as much a part of fumbling it. It's like a wet bar of soap out there.
Kevin O'Connell frustrated. But the bottom line, the Vikings showed some resiliency. Down 14-0. They get the last 2 scores of the half. And all even at 14 apiece. And the top performers for the first half are brought to you by Monarch. Tuesdays on Fox. Goff was really good, especially early. Dalvin Cook, 51 yards and a touchdown. St. Brown before the ankle injury, 4 catches. That's the end of the first half, 14 apiece. We now go to Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles for the Verizon halftime, which starts now. Cousins fakes the toss, and back in the end zone, wide open, there he is, Adam Thielen. Cook bounces it outside, he's got the edge, and he's in. Touchdown Vikings. That was today's game flow, brought to you by Progressive. 14-all at intermission. Detroit jumped out in front. They were really in the driver's seat, but Minnesota able to bounce back and even things at intermission. Now Jared Goff trying to get set to rally the troops for half number 2. But it will be the Vikings set to receive the football. Turn out across the 25-yard line. Back in the booth, Brandon Gaudin, Brady Quinn. You know, at the end of the first half, there was an interesting play. Charles Harris of Detroit actually knocked the ball out of Bradbury's hands.
Yeah, we saw Bradbury kind of juggling with the football. One of the reasons was why, as they were jogging to the line of scrimmage. Take a look here. You're going to see K.J. Osborne hand the ball, or try to Bradbury. Look at Charles Harris, number 53. Kind of subtly knocks the football away. It was hard to tell from up here what exactly happened. That's why you saw Kevin O'Connell and Kirk Cousins arguing with the officials.
And Dalvin Cook with a fullback ham in front of him gets a couple of yards, and we head downstairs and rejoin Megan O'Leary.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Well, the Lions head coach Dan Campbell told me that he expected this type of game. He said, we knew this would be a tug of war with ebbs and flows, but what's important is how we respond to this pressure. He wants them to clean up the details and really be able to gain momentum back here. But something for you guys to note, Amon-Ra St. Brown did not sit down throughout that first half after the ankle injury. Seemed to be working on it, went to the locker room early for halftime to get some extra treatment.
Week 3, NFC North, Lions and Vikings, both teams 1-1. This is a series that Minnesota had won 8 straight in until Detroit defeated them last year, Week 13, to end that skid. Well, let's hear from Aaron Glenn. This was during camp on Hard Knocks.
My man. Compete, man, compete! Compete! Come on, Benito!
The 2022 Detroit Lions will compete every game.
Well, and they have competed, and they're up right now. And Aaron Glenn, at 50 years of age, interviewed for a couple of head coaching vacancies in the offseason with the Browns, with the Saints, and Dan Campbell says it is only a matter of time before he's a head coach in this football league. Well, the two young workhorses on this Detroit offense, both hobbled with lower body injuries. They've been out there still, but struggling a little bit, Brady.
Look, they're toughing it through. We talked about this team. It really embodies their head coach, the toughness, the grit he talks about, that one he played with in Dan Campbell, but one he's asking for from his players.
Draped down around the 25-yard line. So fourth quarter, Minnesota gets the football back. You feel like this is a very crucial drive right here.
Oh, it's huge for them right now. And at some point, they got to get Justin Jefferson more involved. They held him down last week in Philly. So far today, just 2 catches, 11 yards, has not been able to get going. He's your star player. He's the one they've got to rely on right now.
He was so good week 1 in that win over Green Bay. And Kevin O'Connell, he comes out week 1. They hold Aaron Rodgers down. They win 23-7. Everyone's thinking, oh, my goodness. And then last week back down to the earth with a loss at Philly. And now trying to battle back from behind here. This play. Decent gain as we go out to Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles for a game break.
Into the fourth quarter, Baker Mayfield had completed less than 50% of his passes for fewer than 80 yards, but he makes up for it. Laviska Shenault's first catch of the year is a 67-yard touchdown, and Jameis Winston just threw another pick until Carolina's marching again, up 19-7 as they get ready to start the fourth quarter. Brandon, Brady, and Megan.
Well, coming up next, America's Game of the Week. It's a good one. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, Tom Brady and the Bucs. Some will see Rams, Cardinals, or Falcons, Seahawks. NFL doubleheader continues next. Right. Match of the day. Good start to the drive, but going back to Brady and Rodgers, yeah, they've had pretty good careers, right?
I mean, 2 of the best to ever do it. Obviously, Tom Brady, the GOAT. Aaron Rodgers, the most talented we've ever seen. And both these teams know that too well from the NFC North for some points. So no reason rushing there, potentially having a negative play or a game-changing play with this Vikings defense.
Well, that only gave him more time to work up a lather and get ready for another opportunity here at 3rd and 8. Yeah, replacing a 6-time Pro Bowler and a legend here, not easy. But Metellus with a pick, Cousins down to a knee, and Minnesota with a come-from-behind win, 28-24. For Brady, Quinn, and Megan Levy, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Let's go to the State Farm game break with Kurt Menefee and the boys in Los Angeles.